E3. E3 and the Summer Games Fest happened since the last episode. And I'm not gonna lead off with it. Let's talk about the Summer Game Fest first. And just an overview. You know, we're not gonna talk about every single game, especially this year, and there's a reason for that. But Dom, did you watch or at least see some of the things that came from the Summer Game Fest?
I didn't see anything dealing with the Summer Game Fest. Honestly, I didn't even know Summer Game Fest was a thing. I guess it's so close to E3, it's just overshadowed by it.
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, it's not
a part of it.
So Summer Game Fest is kind of new, like relatively. I think like the last 2, maybe 3 years is hosted by Jeff Keighley, the guy who do the Game Awards at the end of the year. Yeah, so it's his event, and I guess he I don't know, but I'm gonna let you know it was trash. It was so bad. It was probably like one of the honestly, I think it was a little bit worse than E3. The only thing that they showed that I was even a little bit interested in is that the developers behind Borderlands is making a new IP called Wonderlands, and it's basically like it might be a small spin-off of Borderlands, but it's I think they said it's a looter shooter, or maybe a looter but not a shooter. But it's kind of, it got like knights and magic and type stuff, so it's still kind of following the same formula, but it's not like a shooter. So yeah, it's something like that, and I'm like, okay, but everything else was awful, bro. It was awful. I ain't even like write down things. Like I actually, that was probably the only conference I watched, like even with E3, like I fully watched, cause like I was excited, but that junk let me down big time, and I was like, I think E3 gonna do the same. So yeah, you ain't missed nothing, bro. And I know GP ain't watched it, so I just wanted to get it out there.
Hey, good. Truthfully, now I did go back and watch some of it. Don't just throw me. I didn't watch it live because the work been crazy.
Yeah,
but I did go back.
So you did see the Summer Game Fest, or at least some of it. Oh my God, this man wasted time, bro. So yeah, that jump was a huge F.
He had to stand up for himself though.
I guess, man. Huge F on the report card. So we'll talk about E3 now. So overall, let's just talk about E3 overall. And for what you've seen, GP, man, what did you think overall?
Overall, not specific. So overall, there were some games, and I'm going to specifically talk about the Nintendo Switch, because I said in the previous podcast that the Pro version is something that I would be thinking of getting myself, because I had no idea of it. So I had some thoughts of getting that. And of course, I keep saying in the future, next year, like 2022, that I would consider either PC or PS5. That's kind of where I've been. I used to be just PC, but now I'm looking at PS5. I say all this to say there's some games that's coming on the Switch that if they're fun enough for me to play, then that next year gaming console that I have in mind, I probably would even push that further back. So the Switch got me a little excited, but everything else was just good news. You know, it wasn't bad, just it didn't excite me until I was hearing, oh, this coming on the Switch. Oh, I might get this Pro version, you know? So that's kind of how I felt about it overall.
What kind of games did you see that made you think?
We'll talk about it like
I figure he didn't want to go too deep right now. So
because we're gonna talk about like a couple of these conferences, but I just want to get like an overall consensus. I'll give y'all my overall. My overall consensus. This junk was trash. I almost cursed. It was so bad. I hated it. I hated this E3. It was the worst E3 I probably ever seen.
Man, without people, like, you know, like.
What you mean? Without. What?
I'm just saying, like, you know, it was gonna be different. Like, you knew that coming into this.
See, I knew that it was going to be remote or live stream only.
Right.
But that still didn't negate the fact that we had to like have these pointless showings, man. They had Verizon out there. Capcom barely showed anything. Warner Brothers showed one game. They had time to put out and show one game, bro. A game everybody already seen. Like it's bro. They put out a whole alpha already for the game. Like, why are you showing this? You know what I'm saying?
They show again?
Back for Blood. The Left 4 Dead spiritual successor, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
No.
huh? Like, why are these, man? I ain't even want to put it on the notes because I ain't want to talk about it. But basically, who else was out there showing nothing? I don't know, man. They just out there talking, bro. And really, what saved this E3 from it being like almost worthy enough to start a petition was Nintendo and Microsoft, bro. And but we'll get into that. But those are the two that obviously had a lot more to show than the others.
Yeah.
And they actually had things that made me personally excited. But even on the internet, man, a lot of people was not feeling this E3.
I did read that. I actually read that when I was going through my notes. But Thursday, I think I was just kind of reading it. It's like people just really wasn't feeling it. I'm not being that critical because I knew once you lose the atmosphere of people, it's gonna automatically go down. Like the bubble, as much as I liked the bubble last year, it still was like, this is pretty boring. Versus me just watching fans, not even at the game, watching. It's a whole new experience. So I just think the expectation of E3 was a little too high for people just because they was having one this year. Especially when it was like live stream, just like, live stream.
But it's that doesn't negate the fact that they can't show some good stuff though.
Well, okay, yeah, that I agree with you. That's
what I'm saying.
Only a few games. Okay, so you're just talking about the games, not how they did it. Okay.
No. I honestly don't mind the live stream setting. I actually would like, because they could do so much more with that. I guess I don't know. I guess having a crowd there would be cool too. But I'm more so looking for the announcements, the gameplay, the release dates. And they really ain't had that. They had a lot of stuff. They even released what? Dang, Dom, you good, bro?
Yeah.
Mute, bro.
I need some water, bro.
Bye, God dang. Like I was saying, this man came back one more time. Look, like I was saying, man, I wanted that the release dates, the gameplay, and stuff like that, and they didn't really have that. Games they even talked about last year or the year before wasn't even shown this year, and that's what all the conferences. So it's kind of like, what's going on, man? Like I just didn't. I don't know. It was like even you had like a few games that excited you, GP, but me, I overall, nah, man. Dom, what's up?
I do. So back to what you were saying. I was thinking that normally the side conferences, with the E3 still are not much as, big as like the PlayStation, the Xbox, the Nintendo. And then I feel like without PlayStation being there, the E3 already took a big hit though, right? Cause, the shows people was more looking forward to, or like, not even much Xbox, the normal amount of people who, rag on Xbox, but people look forward to PlayStation and then Nintendo most of anything. So I feel like without PlayStation being there, E3 is already taking a big hit, right?
That's true, but they ain't have to have Verizon there, bro.
You have to think, if they would have not had Verizon, it would just been nothing there. And
what Verizon show?
Thinking, I don't know what they
exactly
show,
nothing.
Listen, just listen though. Listen, without PlayStation being there, they're thinking, we rather just have something fill their spot or have nothing at all.
Nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want nothing.
let them have something. In terms of like games with Xbox and Nintendo,
so E3 got filler now. They got filler now. That's what you're saying. E3 need filler.
E3's always had filler.
No, not like that, bro. Not like that, bro. That was awful.
Yes, but they're missing a whole big corporation, bro.
I don't care. I
think he has a good point though, Sue. I think Dom do have a good point. It's like, when you release a movie, even if the movie is absolutely garbage, some people would rather see that garbage movie.
No.
You know,
see,
so
that's not
like
the same.
E3,
I say this, man. This is what Dom is, because I kind of agree with him. Like, yeah, PlayStation is a big spot, and
I'm like saying, like, bro, yeah. I'm gonna put it like this in basketball terms. It's like, look, bro, look what happens when like the main player of a team gets injured, bro. They have to at least fill that spot with somebody, even if that player is not going to do as much as that star player was doing.
They
bro.
don't have to though. So, but see, the thing is, a basketball player has to be replaced. Dog, this is E3. You don't have to have 4 days of showings, man. Just like take a day off, bro. Take a day away from it. Look, man, you lost a big part of your event. Just don't replace it with like okay, you got a buffet of food. They take away the cookies and replace it with like what? Snails or something. Like we don't need no snails, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like bring back the cookies, replace it with donuts, or don't replace it at all, bro. We still got the buffet. Now, a basketball player gotta be replaced. A trash movie, I mean, it's filler, bro. You would rather watch Naruto fillers or no, bro? No, you would rather be exactly.
Listen.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. You do not want to watch no fillers.
I do agree with you. I definitely would agree. Like when it comes to like a filler, I wouldn't want to. I'm a Verizon customer, but for me, it's like, what were they doing there? It wasn't needed. I agree with you. It was kind of like
I forgot Verizon was even there, though. To be honest,
but why were they there? It's like, why did they even appear? So I feel you on that, and then I also think like, why did they even make that Mortal Kombat movie? Like, why was it even there?
All right, so let's continue. So
waste the time.
Ubisoft conference, man. Did y'all see that?